MMAWeekly.com. We're sitting down with UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez. How you doing today, brother?
Good.
Well,
Cain.
we are what? We're
Cain Velasquez.
Cain. DC's helping us out with the proper.
Yes, because anytime you use a guy's name, if you use all the letters in his name, does not matter how you pronounce it. It can be anything. Cain, Nayak, all that.
Okay, so we're a couple weeks out. This is a huge fight. It's your first trilogy. It's your, Junior has seemingly been your foil. How long have you been waiting for this, and how excited are you, to get back in the ring with him?
Just for this whole training camp, it's kind of a thing that you just have to wait and see what happens. The last Bigfoot fight, I had to wait and see what happened between him and Mark Hunt, and just kind of wait for the outcome of that. And then knowing that that Junior would pull off the win, right away. I think we know each other, pretty well. And it's a thing of whose game plan is going to be better that night, who's going to implement it better.
Well, especially since you've already seen each other twice.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you got one look from him. I remember seeing you. I was at the fight against Junior, the first one. And what I took away from that was you sitting at the podium. You had a certain look on your face. Sometimes it looks the same after a win, but this was a particular look. And you sat on that podium and you made a very matter-of-fact statement. You said, "Don't worry, I'll be getting that belt back," which is very straight line. You knew it, you believed it. Now you're sitting at 1-1. That night I saw that loss. It showed me a guy who's not only ultra competitive, but definitely believes in his skill set. How much does it mean to get the one over on him? To no longer be 500 with the kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything, For me, the position that I'm in now, being champion, this is where I want to be. I felt that loss before. I felt, the belt being taken away. I don't want to go back to those feelings anymore. I know what I want to do. I want to stay in this position here, stay champion for a while, and yeah, this win here, for me means all of that.
How do you view the landscape of the UFC heavyweight division? Daniel always gets brought up, but we know that that's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. So, when you look at the landscape, is it challenging enough for you?
It definitely is. I mean, there's always going to be guys coming in. There's always going to be guys, working their way up to the top. You know what I mean? Every fight is your toughest fight. Every guy's going to look good. So there's going to be a lot of guys out there. The top guys are like Verdum. He's out there. Josh Barnett, obviously, Matt Brown's coming up. And there's always a lot of tough guys, and especially in the heavyweight division, anything can happen, and anything, will happen. So,
how much did that first fight teach you about that? Anything can happen.
The main thing it taught me was if I have a game plan, I need to implement it right away. There's no waiting around. Especially with a guy like that, you can't let him get too comfortable. As soon as he does, then he starts, implementing his game plan on you, which is what you don't want. So,
you talked a little bit about being champion. You talked about what it means to you and the importance of it. How do you want to be viewed as a champion? You got the media obligations. You have all the stuff we're doing. But outside of that, what's your goal as champion? Is the UFC heavyweight champion more importantly?
You know what? I just want people to when they think back of me, they think about the way I fought. My fighting style. That it was never boring. It was always straight. It was always going forward. A lot of pressure, a lot of action. The type of that Mexican fighter that you see in boxing. The toughest nails, going forward, and just never giving up. That's what I want to be. Remembered as.
It's interesting. You bring up the Mexican fighter thing and the brown pride tattoo. All that talk has gone away. It's almost like you handled that in the perfect way. You addressed it when you needed to, but you never made it a bigger deal than it was. Is it kind of nice not to have to do that the whole every single thing is a Mexican question, every single thing's a brown pride question? It just now you're a heavyweight champion.
Yeah. I think the fans and people have just kind of realized what kind of person I am. With my background and with the story of my family and my parents, I mean, it kind of puts the truth, what I have done, and that's been proud of my heritage and just got something to show for it as well.
What type of things can you do as you become more busy and this life sets in? It's not celebrity. I mean, it's a celebrity life kind of, but it's a fighting life. Mm-hmm. How do you stay grounded? How do you stay grounded in those roots and that mentality and that mindset?
Just have good people around me.
Is that one of the reasons you stayed here so long?
I think so. Just as far as friends and family, having the same people around you that I've had, since I was a kid. you know, same friends and everything else. You know, those people do ground me a lot, you know, and especially in a place like this at AKA, you get humbled a lot as well. You know, one day you have the best day of your life, you're in here and you can beat everybody. The next day, nope. You know, you get humbled, you get beat, and it's a thing of, hey, you know, I have to get better. This puts me back in my place now. It's an ongoing battle, you know, especially with all the good guys in here.
And you brought that up before. On some days, Daniel and some of those guys, they absolutely do get the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know, you talked about kind of being original, sticking to your roots and all that stuff. One thing that always stuck out to me, this was years ago watching one of your countdown shows. You got a great car, man. Everyone's out buying these BMW 7 Series and Mercedes-Benz SLK, whatever. You went, which is it a Cuda? Is it a GT?
It's a Ford Torino Cobra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that your everyday car?
Not my everyday car, no. I only take it out maybe once a week or so, you know, around there.
But you strike me as a guy who doesn't do what everyone else does.
I like to buy American, you know. I got a truck. I got a Ford truck. I'm driving a Chevy Volt today. You know what I mean. You know, keeping the that carpool lane sticker helps out really well.
California living.
You know, got the Ford Torino, and got the Harley that I got for the fight, and I love it, man. You know, I ride as much as I can. Since I signed the battle agreement, I can't ride right now, but. Man, I'm always riding.
Dana, he's being a good boy. One of the kind of the last things I wanted to ask you. What do you think? You know, you're kind of steeped in mystery. You know what I mean? You're not always out there. You're not one of the UFC guys that always put in each other's faces. You're very cognizant of how you spend your time. What do you think some of the fans would be most surprised to hear about Cain Velasquez?
I'm kind of just like an easygoing guy, you know. As soon as no matter who I meet, it takes me about a year to come around, you know. Whether it's my wife's family, you know, people at the gym here. I mean, I was here for a year, didn't talk to anybody, you know, and that's just the kind of person I am.
You always been that way?
I've always been that way. Yeah, it takes me a while to get to know somebody. Then as soon as I get to know somebody, then I start joking and just being a goofball, whatever. But for some reason for me, it just takes me a while to come around. And as soon as I think that's what people, you know, people think I'm serious all the time. I mean, but it's a thing of I'm not comfortable unless I know somebody, you know, for a long time. So. Especially
with all the media obligations and stuff and cameras in front of your face. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Well, Cain, keep it brief. But I do want to thank you for the time. I know you're busy, man. I know we're a few days from the fight, and I want to thank you for your time and best of luck against Junior.
Thank you.